Without work ethic, you will not get to your ideal destination. Hey, how's it going? It's Carlos Reyes, allinnation.com. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys all know, I say this all the time and time and again. This channel is specifically to help every up-and-coming entrepreneur, or you know what? It's not even about entrepreneurship at this point. It's just about, allowing you to step into your personal power, right? To just be the elite version of yourself in every aspect of life that you can be. My goal with this channel is to save you from pain and all the pain that I had to endure, and to save you time too. I want to help you get to whatever your goal is a lot quicker than it took me to get there. So again, I appreciate you coming back, checking out the channel. And with that being said, today we are going to be going over step number 4 of my personal internal success formula, which is work ethic, right? We've already talked about, step 1 was making a decision of what it is that you want for your life. Step 2 was commitment, right? Commitment, or being committed to the vision, being committed to the decision, right? Being committed to the mission. Step 3 was sacrifice, right? No sacrifice, no results. And we went deeply into what it takes to get to that next level, the amount of sacrifice that it's going to take from you on a personal level and on a business level. So step 4 is work ethic. And man, oh man, I don't think I would be here without work ethic. That's one thing that, as an immigrant myself, I was born into extreme poverty. I kind of had no choice. I had no choice but to work my butt off, right? If I didn't work, we didn't eat. And if you're asking yourself, well, what do you mean if you don't work? Yeah, that's right. You have to understand that when I was 5 years old, I had my first door-to-door sales job in Mexico. I was literally selling bread from the top of my head, going door to door in my neighborhood. In Guaymas, Sonora, the two neighborhoods that I used to live in. One of them was called Centinela. It was on a mountain. It was the top of a mountain. A bunch of, just like me, everybody there was poor. Most people there, to be quite honest with you, didn't even wear shoes. Right. The only reason why I wear shoes is because my mom was already working in the States, and she would send us money every now and then. So I had a pair of shoes. But all my friends, they didn't wear shoes, and they actually played soccer with no shoes. And at some point, I'm like, wow, well, I want to try that. And I started wearing no shoes, even though I had a little pair of shoes. I started wearing no shoes just because I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to feel what it felt like to actually, walk on rocks and walk on dirt with no shoes, just like the rest. I didn't want to be above everybody else, so it made me feel a little guilty that I had shoes. So where I lived was Centinela, and the other one's called Independence, which is Independencia. Between those two neighborhoods, I was, me and my brother, we were going back and forth, just selling bread. So my work ethic started at a very early age. And the reason that my work ethic came so soon is because I was in survival mode, right? So my mother was a field worker at the time in the United States of America. And, she would send money, obviously, as often, that she could. And she did, to my grandma, who was then raising us. But my grandma and grandpa were extremely, extremely poor, extremely poor, right? My grandma was in her 60s, taking care of us. And my grandfather was, he was in his late 80s, early 90s, taking care of us. And, they didn't have a lot of money. The menu, right? The food was the same thing every single day. It was like, handmade tortillas and beans, and sometimes we get eggs every now and then, and that was amazing. So my brother and I, we really had to go work in order to contribute towards our household. And work ethic was taught at a very early age for me, and as it is for many immigrants. But what if you're not going through that type of extreme poverty, right? What if you have no work ethic? What if you're not used to seeing your parents, especially now, we live in an era, we live in a age where, so many people are kind of entitled. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's you specifically, but a lot of folks, they feel entitled to having things, or why they should be compensated, or, things should be easy, right? And nothing at all, like nothing worth having is ever going to come easy. I didn't get one thing that was easy. I had to work my ass off for everything that I have. And again, the whole entitlement, that has nothing to do with any particular person. I'll be honest with you, my 8-year-old, I believe that she may go through this phase in her life where she's like, hey, if, God willing, I'm still doing good, right? Hey, daddy has money. I don't need to do much. Daddy's going to take care of everything. Well, there's a big surprise coming for her, right? So that's definitely not going to be the case. Adversity was my X factor. Adversity forced me to have an incredible work ethic. And I've never met, massively successful entrepreneurs, business owners, massively successful individuals who don't have the work ethic, right? They're willing to get up and do what needs to be done. They're not leaving until the job gets done. And they're not going to allow their households to not have food on the table. They'll get out there, they'll do some landscaping, they'll get out there, they'll paint a house, they'll get out there, they'll even go to Home Depot to get a job. They'll get out there and they'll go to job fairs, and they'll go to temp services, servicing agencies. I mean, work ethic is a blessing. It's a gift, right? And for the people that do have the work ethic, all they got to do is choose the right vehicle. Now, when I say, what do you mean choose the right vehicle? Well, it's great and all. Like when I was working at corporate America, hey, I was working just as hard or maybe even harder. I don't know. But I know that I was working my butt off for corporate America, 70 hours plus every single week, Monday through Saturday. I was working that business like it was my very own business. I took a lot of ownership over that business and the results that came from that business. I would work a lot of overtime. I would work on the holidays. I would work anytime, anywhere, whenever I was needed. That was my work ethic when I was working for someone else, because why? At a very early age, that was my programming. I'm like, I am going to work my butt off. That's all we were taught. My mom was the epitome, the living example of a single mother, right? Working 2 or 3 jobs at the same time just to put food on the table and clothes on our back. So all I ever saw was my mom working her ass off. And I feel like that was a gift from God, that I got to see this woman just bust her butt 2, 3 different jobs at the same time. So it was absolutely insane. And going back to the work ethic situation, I'll say this, without work ethic, you will not get to your ideal destination. If you do not work your ass off, now I went back to the vehicle, right? Work smarter, not harder. Yes, I truly believe in that. And I'll give you an example, right? A field worker or a landscaper, would you say they work pretty hard? Yeah, they work extremely hard, right? They're out there in the sun. They're out there working, 50, 60 hours a week. And then you compare that to, let's just say, a CEO of a company, right? Well, I believe that they actually equally might be working as hard. But the CEO of this company, he chose a different vehicle. He's putting his work ethic, he's putting his energy and his effort, right? And his time into a vehicle that's going to give him a higher return. You see how that works? Well, the landscaper, the painter, the construction guy, he's working his butt off, working 6 days a week, 70, 80 hours, whatever. Well, there's limitations to the vehicle that he's currently working under, right? I mean, how many hours can you paint, or how many houses can you landscape? There's going to be a huge income difference between the CEO, the entrepreneur, as it is to the employee, right? To the worker. Even though they're both working as hard, you have to choose the right vehicle. That's what's going to get you up that ladder, especially the income ladder, the financial freedom ladder. But nonetheless, work ethic is at a very high level in both angles, right? So that doesn't change. If you really want to be massively successful in this life, please do not oversee the fact that you got to work your ass off, especially, year 1, year 2, year 3. I don't care. Year 4, year 5, I don't care. There's been people, somebody like an Andy Frisella, right? I heard for the first 8 to 10 years, the man just worked himself to the ground and wasn't seeing a lot of results. And then at some point, the universe just got out of his way. The universe was like, man, this guy is crazy. I've been showing this man resistance, right? And he just continues to come. He's a freaking monster truck. He's just banging and banging and banging. You keep banging that concrete, and you have an inexplicable work ethic. I promise, if you just choose the right vehicle and implement the right energy into the right vehicle, you are going to achieve everything you ever wanted, and you are going to live the life of your dreams. So I don't want you to oversee work ethic. Work ethic is just as important, or possibly more important than any of the other internal success formula steps. Because if you have strong work ethic, you will never go hungry. Keep that in mind, okay? So again, step 4, work ethic. I just want to say thank you. If someone can use this information, please go ahead and share it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button, comment. I always do get back to everybody. Again, much love from my heart to yours. And I just appreciate you guys, all the love and all the support that you continue to show. And I'll see you on step 5, which is perseverance, not giving up, baby. So stick around, tune in to the next episode. Love you.